reschedule and joining us today? Or we just wait for 5 minutes more? Can we have the video being played meanwhile?
Energy is the driving force for social development. In the 18th century, James Watt opened a new era of energy for mankind. However, in recent years, the problem of environmental pollution and energy shortage has become increasingly serious. A group of responsible forerunners began looking for more environmentally friendly and more efficient new energy sources. Pioneers began to collect the most precious energy of nature for the benefit of the world and started the era of clean energy. Growatt, as the world's leading PV inverter manufacturer, has been providing clean and efficient new energy solutions to users in more than 100 countries globally. As China's leading manufacturer of residential and commercial PV inverters, Growatt emphasizes the importance of independent R&D and technological innovation. It has a team of experts with more than 10 years of experience in the industry. Growatt holds more than 60 patents, as well as the highest rated inverter, reaching up to 99% efficiency, and continues to create high-quality, cost-effective products. Growatt has a state-of-the-art, fully automated production line with comprehensive quality testing to provide the best product possible. With its reputation for quality products and outstanding performance both in domestic and overseas markets, the company has won numerous honors that have been pushing us to search for more efficient and smarter solutions for photovoltaics, which ultimately led to the creation of the Growatt Smart Energy Solution. Every day, Growatt Smart Energy brings energy-efficient green life to residential and commercial customers. Growatt Smart Energy Solutions integrates photovoltaic power generation with energy storage and cutting-edge energy management system technologies. It aims at protecting the environment by reducing energy consumption, reducing overall cost of power, and ensures the maximum benefits to users and will be the mainstream source of energy utilization in the future. Today, Growatt has established a global market coverage. It pioneers the industry with self-developed Smart OSS cloud platform, which is designed to promptly and efficiently solve any possible issues. customer service complaints, distributors or system integrators issues during construction, operation, and maintenance of solar power plants. It is a true integration of online and offline services that provides a worry-free experience to customers. We work with like-minded partners around the world to try and drive more possibilities for the future. Groat's dedication to providing smart energy solutions for families and business owners makes green energy simple and intelligent.
Thank you for the video. Good afternoon. After successful several editions with physical conferences, SolarRoofs, Asia's largest clean tech media firm, is pleased to welcome everyone virtually to SolarRoofs South 2021. I'm Sangeeta Sridhar from SolarRoofs, and I'm going to be your host for today. In this event today, we will discuss rooftop mission, key challenges and opportunities in PV rooftop segment, technology advancement, and investors' lookout in commercial, industrial, and residential space. I would like to thank our sponsors, Platinum Partner Groat and Gold Partner Jinko Solar for joining us today. Let's begin with a welcome address by Mr. Bampati Anchala, who is the Director Solar Business from Telangana Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Over to you, sir. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Perfect. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, all the panelists and industry leaders and the solar fraternity. I'm Pampapati Anchala from the Telangana Chamber of Commerce. In fact, it is good that SolarRoofs is arranging this webinar program. I just wanted to reiterate some of the points, especially with reference to the rooftop solar program initiated by the government of India and announced with a big, formidable targets of 40 gigawatts in rooftop and 60 gigawatts in ground mount. Actually, presently we're far behind, but of course there are a number of reasons for that. As of now, India as a whole has implemented about 883 megawatt rooftop plants so far. And all India basis, Gujarat is leading, but in South India, Karnataka is leading. They have implemented already 232.7 megawatt in the year 9 months of 2020. And then next comes the Tamil Nadu with a 155.99 megawatt target achieved. And Telangana, of course, is in third place, but otherwise it is in 10th rank in all over India. Telangana has achieved 90.46 megawatt. Figures are not very encouraging from the target point of view. The target itself is quite formidable. And added to that, the COVID situation also has almost disrupted the entire economy, which includes our solar. Now, I throw open the meeting to all of you with some remarks like this. I mean, our point should be whether the latest policy of net metering versus gross metering, MNRE withdrawing the net metering facility about 10 kilowatt, and then the what are the incentives that can be continued for non-profit organizations? Because right now the incentives are only up to 10 kilowatt and that too for household. And then what are the tax benefits that could be given in addition to the accelerated depreciation? And then what could be the DISCOM role? Because DISCOM is a key factor in faster implementation and easy implementation of the roof solar program. Without the active cooperation of DISCOMs, this program really cannot be achieved. And perhaps this target itself has to be revised to be more practical. But then, there are a number of industry leaders like you who have been in this business for more than a decade. And with all your helpful suggestions and recommendations, we'll also present it to the government of Telangana to make this program more successful. With this, I throw open the meeting to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the valuable insights. So, with this, we will proceed ahead with our first techno-commercial presentation by Mr. Shantanu Srikant, who's the Technical Head India from Grow. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. This side, Shantanu. So basically, I am looking after the pre-sales activities for Growart in the Indian market. And today I will be giving you a brief about overall Growart as a company and different products that offering for the Indian market. So I'm just sharing my screen. Just let me know it is visible or not.
Sure, sir.
It is visible.
Yes, sir. If you could please make it full screen.
Yeah. So starting on with the company product presentation. So basically, this particular presentation will be about Growart as a company, the different products that we are offering in the Indian market, and some of the global as well as some international projects that we are having for the reference purpose. So Growart was founded in the year 2010 with an USD capital of 10 million. And basically, Growart is a new energy firm which is dedicated to R&D as well as manufacturing of on-grid inverters, off-grid inverters, as well as storage solutions. So basically, Growart inverters are used in different areas such as residential, C&I, as well as utility. By the end of year 2020, Growart has reached to more than 110 countries worldwide, and we are leading manufacturers of string inverters, basically for the residential segment. With a dream of a green world, Grover takes this opportunity to provide the clear and consistent approach to green energy. Basically, Grover is a customer focused, service focused, and with 10 years of experience in the field of research and development, we are very close to become the global leaders in providing the convenient access to green energy. So these are the basic milestones of Growart. So basically, Growart was founded in the year 2010, and in the year 2011, Growart was the #1 exporter of inverters from China. In 2012, Growart got its first investment from Sukhoi Capital. In 2018, we reached the milestone of providing 1 million units of string inverters worldwide. And in 2020, that same number has reached to around 2.7 million units, which aggregates to around 27 gigawatt supply of inverters worldwide. Growart is the only energy firm in which Sukhoi Capital has invested. It is the same investment firm who has given the investments for Apple, Google, Cisco, as well as YouTube. And for the last 8 years, Sukhoi Capital is having its investment with Growart. So these are some of the numbers for the last 3 years. So if you can see in 2019, the global shipment that we have done was around 5 gigawatt. And in the year 2020, the same global shipment, in spite of the pandemic, we have reached to around 9.5 gigawatt. So you can see the year to year growth that we have achieved is of 100%. Basically, in order to achieve our dream, we are having a very well-equipped team of more than 1600 plus employees, out of which more than 400 employees are dedicated only for the R&D purpose. By the end of 2020, we have shipped around more than 2.5 million units globally, and which comes to around 27 gigawatt of shipment worldwide. So talking about the rankings, for the last 3 years, Growwatt is ranking in top 3 for the supply of grid inverters for residential segment. If you're talking about shipment of string inverters worldwide, then Growwatt is ranking number 4 with a market share of 6% only in terms of string inverters. And if you're talking about the storage hybrid inverters, then in 2019 we took a very great leap and have reached the second position for the supply of storage inverters worldwide. If you're talking about the distributed PV segment worldwide, then Growwatt is ranking in top 3 in most of the countries. If you talk about Poland, Netherlands, Vietnam, Australia, China. So in all these particular segments for distributed PV inverters, Growwatt is ranking number 1. And in China, we are having a market share for residential segment of more than 40%. That is every 4th inverter that is installed in China is of Growwatt. Also, as per the UPD Research Lab, we are the top inverter brand in most of the European countries as well as APAC countries. Talking about our R&D, we are a team of more than 400 employees assisted only for the R&D purpose. And every year, Growwatt is spending around 10% of its total income to the R&D purpose. All our R&D labs are certified by Intertech as well as that of TUV. We are having more than 110 patents to our name, out of which 70 are Chinese patents, 30 are international patents, and we are having more than 10 software copyrights. Growwatt 20 kilowatt inverter is the only inverter tested by the Photon Lab to have reached the maximum efficiency of more than 99%, to be precise 99.06%. In April 2021, we are coming up with a new manufacturing plant in Shenzhen itself, where the total production capacity will be more than 20 gigawatt per year. Talking about the global presence, we are having 14 different offices worldwide. And if you're talking about India, we are a team of more than 25 people, where we are having a dedicated Indian director, 4 salesperson, 2 product managers, and 15 service engineers. We are having our service center based out in Hyderabad, which is also our registered office, and where we are carrying a total spares parts of around 500 kilowatt in terms of PCBs as well as in terms of inverter. In 2020, we also came up with our second service center based out in Hyderabad. We are having our 15 engineers placed in different cities, namely Delhi, Gujarat, Maharashtra, then Hyderabad, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. Growwatt started its business in India in 2012, and it's now more than 9 years that Growwatt is having its presence in the Indian market. Till date, we have shipped more than 1,11,111 units in India, ranging from 1 kilowatt up to 80 kilowatt only for the Indian market. Now coming on to the second segment, that is the solutions that we are offering. So basically for the PV inverters, we are having a range in on-grid starting from 750 watt up to 250 kilowatt, and we are supplying our inverters for residential, C&I, as well as for the utility scale. For the residential, we are in single phase, we are having a product range starting from 750 watt up to 6 kilowatt. Whereas for three phase, we are having a range starting from 3 kilowatt onwards up to 15 kilowatt. If you're talking about C&I and utility products, we are having a range starting from 20 kilowatt onwards up to 100 kilowatt. And in last year, we have came up with a utility-based product in 1500 volts, that is 250 kilowatt and 253 kilowatt. So these are some of the leading features that we are offering with our 250 and 253 kilowatt inverter. Basically, 250 kilowatt inverter comes with 12 MPPTs and 253 kilowatt inverter comes with 15 MPPTs. So this model is the only model available in India having the highest numbers of MPPT than any other competitor. Also, the maximum MPPT current that we are offering with this particular inverter range is of 30 amperes. So most of the panels that are available in the Indian market in mono or in bifacial are compatible with our inverter. Also, our inverter is IP66 rated, and along with that C5 anti-corrosion tested. So if any of the installation is near seashore, then due to high humidity, the metal parts tends to corrode. So that protection also we are providing with the inverter. Also, a power line communication, then night SVG feature, along with that power line communication. All these feature also we are providing with our utility-based inverter. We are providing individual string monitoring along with IV curve diagnosis feature, which is a free feature we are providing along with our utility-based inverters. So these are some of the technical specifications for 250 and 253 kilowatt inverter in 1500 volts. The output rated power is 250 and 253 kilowatt, whereas the output AC voltage will be 800 volts. Now coming to the energy storage systems. So in this particular segment also, Growatt is having a wide range of inverters. So we are providing, you can say, AC coupled solutions as well as DC coupled solution in single phase. This range starts from 3 kilowatt onwards up to 6 kilowatt, whereas in three phase, this same range starts from 4 kilowatt onwards up to 10 kilowatt. Also for the commercial applications, we are having a range starting from 30 kilowatt onwards up to 150 kilowatt in hybrid inverters. Also, we are now started manufacturing of lithium-ion batteries. So we can provide a complete solution which will consist of inverters as well as battery for our end customers. Also, if you're talking about a microgrid, then in that particular segment, we are having the off-grid inverters, solar off-grid inverters ranging from 2 kilowatt onwards up to 12 kilowatt. Also, we are having our own energy management system for monitoring and maintenance of the on-grid inverters. And also for the monitoring purpose, we are having different options. Like for a single inverter monitoring, you can go with a Wi-Fi, GPRS or 4G option. Or if you are going for a large project, then we are having our Shine Master data logger with which you can connect maximum up to 64 number of inverters. We are having our own Shine Phone app as well as our own portal. And we are also providing for the end installers and the distributors our online smart service portal. Now coming on to the last segment, that is the reference. So these are some of the reference. This is an interesting one. Our first inverter that we sold in Australia in 2010 of 5 kilowatt was installed, and still it is running without any issues for last 11 years. And the same customer has opted for the new series of 5 kilowatt single phase inverter for his extension of the project. So you can see for the quality as well as the adaptability of the inverter for longer years is easily achieved. And then these are some of the installations in different countries like Brazil, and this is in South Australia, South Africa, Netherlands, Thailand, again the Netherlands, then Switzerland. We are having a 1.2 megawatt commercial installation. Then again China, a 3 megawatt solar farm in Maldives, In Vietnam, again a floating sort of a power plant in China. Then this is a 90 megawatt solar farm by EA in Thailand. Again, a 100 megawatt Foxconn Hill solar power plant. This power plant is using 40 kilowatt of inverters. And again, a 127 megawatt. And if you're talking about the Indian installations, then 5.5 megawatt plant by Kirloskar in Kolhapur, a 4 megawatt plant using 20 kilowatt, 200 pieces in Hyderabad. This is the first installation with Max. Again, for a college in Hyderabad, for industry in Aurangabad. Again, for a cement factory in MP, 1 megawatt plant, a solar farm in Solapur. So thank you. Thanks a lot for giving your time. I'm extremely sorry for joining late. So as I was stuck up in some other work, but thank you. Thank you once again. Back to you, Sangeeta.
Thank you so much, sir, for the valuable insights. So that's absolutely okay. So attendees, before we proceed ahead with the panel discussion, here's few polls for you. So here comes your first poll. So which segment will see more traction this year in the solar rooftop space? So let's see what attendees have to say. I'm closing the poll now. So the winner over here is the residential sector with 39%, but we do have the industrial sector in the second number with 26%. Thank you, attendees. Stay tuned with us with more polls. So with this, we will begin ahead with our first panel discussion. The topic of panel discussion is going to be market trends, policies, challenges, and opportunities in new era. Session experts who have joined us today are Shri D.V. Ramakrishna Kumar, who is the project director from TREDCO, Shri D. Ramayana Shetty, who is the Deputy Director from APAC, Mr. Ajit Gopi, who is a Program Officer from ANERT, Mr. Sikandar Amin, who is the Director from Vigor Solar Energy Private Limited, Mr. Ajay Reddy, who is the Director from Premier Energies. He would also be moderating today's session, and Mr. Srinivas Kukadappu, who is the Managing Partner from Solar Bull Energy LLP. I would like to hand over the session to Ajay sir to take the discussions forward with other panelists. Thank you. Requesting all the panel members to kindly switch on their cameras and unmute themselves.
Thank you, Sangeeta. I want to begin by thanking Solar Quarter for inviting me to moderate this session about solar rooftops in South India, with a special focus on market trends, policies, challenges, and opportunities in this new era. We have panelists, as mentioned by Sangeeta earlier. We got people from the government departments and also from the private sector. We got Mr. D.V. Ramakrishna, who is the project director of TS Redco. We have Mr. D. Ramanaya Sethi, who is a deputy director of tariff engineering in APRC. We have Mr. Ajit Gopi, who is the program officer of at ANERT. We have Mr. Sikandar Amin, who is the director, Vigor Solar Energy Private Limited. And we have Mr. Srinivas, who is the MD of Solar Bull. Thank you all session experts for joining us. We will commence our discussion with the policy being followed by the South Indian states. First by the government speakers. Let us have, I think we can have Mr. D.V. Ramakrishna Kumar first speaking about what the solar policies are with the state government, which is the state government, and how the rooftop is going to emerge considering this.
Sir Ramakrishna sir will be joining us in the next 5 minutes, so you can proceed with the next speaker.
Okay, so fine. So we'll go ahead with Mr. D. Ramanaya Sethi. Sir, can you please tell us about Andhra Pradesh as to how Andhra Pradesh is evolving as for the various policies being coming up with more reference to net metering and the captive power, captive power plants, keeping in mind the fact that the net metering policy is undergoing a change. So let's have your viewpoints and the government viewpoints on this piece.
Good afternoon, all of you. I'm audible? Yeah. So last year also I attended this event. I think no change in as far as our Andhra Pradesh is concerned about the policies from last year. We have net metering guidelines, solar policy, everything is in place. Whatever the investors or the consumers that they expected from the government or the commission, all those policies are in place. Only the thing, the progress is not at expected level, because there is apprehension in the discoms. Suppose if they promote this rooftop in a big scale, so their revenues will come down. That is their apprehension. Because of that, this net metering capacity is not growing as expected in Andhra Pradesh, in spite of the policies in place and everything. That is only the reason what I felt. So otherwise, whatever the policies that are required for the promotion of rooftop or net metering, that all are in place in Andhra Pradesh. That's what I wanted to tell you. Somebody is speaking, Mr. Ajay Reddy. I think you are not unmuted.
Yes, sir. Just want to also take your views on the net metering policy, new net metering policy from the center, which says that there'll be a change for 10 kilowatt and above systems. So what do you feel about that, sir? And what do you think how is going to turn around in Andhra Pradesh? Will it help the solar industry or will it not? Or how are we going to tackle this?
As in today, the net metering policy allows the maximum capacity 1 megawatt. Okay, irrespective of the category of consumers. Now the consumer rights, consumer rules issued by the central government prescribes 10 kilowatt ceiling for the domestic consumers, and net metering 10. So it is to be discussed now. But utilities point of view, they will welcome this decision.
Yes, thank you, sir. So we now move on to take the opinion from Kerala from Mr. Ajit Gopi. Mr. Ajit, can you tell us about what are the policies now in Kerala and how the government is working towards improving the installations, the rooftop installations in Kerala, please?
Welcome, Ajay sir. I hope I'm audible. Good afternoon, gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank SolarRoofs for inviting me for this event. I think I've been attending this successfully for the last couple of years. So, bit discussion ahead. Anat, I'm actually representing Anat and representing Kerala now on the policy measures. Kerala has stipulated a policy of under its own emission project, Kerala Urja Mission, entirely for the rooftop program. It actually targets 1,000 megawatt by 2022. Out of that, 500 megawatt is from rooftop alone. And so here the difference is, as already pointed out, the discoms are a little bit skeptical on these things. What happened in Kerala is, on the other hand, the discom, the state discom, Kerala State Electricity Board Limited itself, took an initiative of popularizing or taking up the projects as instructed by MNRE. So they already, without any doubt, heading here, like 50 megawatt they already tendered, and the projects are going ahead with that. So far, up to that time, my organization, ANERT, the state-owned renewable energy nodal agency under the Department of Power, was taking up the solar projects, especially the grid-connected projects. Now, the state DISCOM KCB has tendered 50 megawatt as part of the program, under the subsidy program. And now they have tendered another 200 megawatts. The tender process is going, it's now online, it is floated. So the first 50 megawatt project has been, the implementation is going on. They selected the empaneled vendors. And now they have come up with more liberalized views on empaneling vendors also. The project is actually taking up, as far as the state is concerned, we cannot go for the utility projects a lot, because we don't have that much of space as state of Andhra or Telangana or Tamil Nadu has. So we have limitations on that, but still we are going ahead with this, our project. ANERT itself positions as a quality controller of this. ANERT is joining with the KCB Limited, the DISCOM here in Kerala, in taking up the project of the Urja mission. So we ourselves are empaneling the original equipment manufacturers of modules, inverters, and the people from the OEM side. And our second phase is going on. We already empaneled the EPC contractors as well. So we have national players and state players. With all this put together, the state is gearing up for a larger mission of achieving 500 megawatt by 2022. I think that is my beginning note for this session.
Sorry. Sir, what is your, thank you for the introduction, sir. What is your opinion on the net metering policy, sir? The new net metering policy requires that that those consumers below 10 kilowatt, only they will be able to put solar power plants. Those above 10 kilowatt may not be able to put up these plants, and or they may not be able to benefit. Will it help towards your 500 megawatt goal, sir, or what do you think on this?
Well, that is a little bit skepticism here on that side. There was enthusiasm from the commercial side, from the industry, for setting up the commercial big mid-rooftop projects here. Anyway, this has to be enacted here, but currently that gives a little bit of skepticism here. But we have to look into that, because a lot of sectors from the mid sector, for example, from the hospital side, the hospital industry is very big here. You have a lot of other commercial establishments who are very much interested in offsetting their the energy needs. So they will be affected actually. So we are in discussion with the regulators here, the utility here on this, to arrange a consensus on that. But anyway, you have to go through the law. But there is skepticism on this. So how we can go ahead with the restriction of gross metering above 10 kilowatt sector.
Thank you, sir. I understand that. Yeah, Sangeeta, please.
We have D. Ramakrishna sir also has joined us.
Thank you so much. Welcome, Mr. Ramakrishna sir. We are happy to have you here. We would like to hear your opinion, sir, on the Telangana state government perspective on the solar rooftops, and how the government plans to take the solar rooftops to the next higher level, and how it plans to to work with the new policy of net metering of about 10 kilowatts. Sir, maybe have your views, please.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity given to me to express my views. With reference to the policy framework in Telangana, we have a net metering policy for the solar rooftop right now, and we have completed around 158 megawatts. And you all are aware that Telangana has backed up the second rank award in the overall country perspective as far as Saral is concerned. Based on the MNRE's survey, that Telangana state has been attracted second rank for the policy framework and the implementation of solar rooftop business in the state. They found this is one of the best state in the state. And coming to the policy phase and the other things, yes, obviously over and above 10 kilowatts under gross metering, there may be some sort of initially some sort of slow pace in this thing, but I think customer awareness will slowly increase it, because end of the day, gross metering also will give them some sort of revenue inflow, consistent revenue inflow to their this thing. I understand net metering gives them the major advantage, but having understood the implication of the gross metering beyond 10 kilowatts will be a major challenge to drive this solar rooftop this thing. But less than 10 kilowatt, there will be a big boom, because the subsidies are 40%, and over and above 30 kilowatt, it is the 20% up to 10 kilowatts. So this makes a lot of advantage for the domestic consumer to play around, or even the industrial consumer up to 10 kilowatt capacity. They can think on this one. And we are also bringing the policy changes soon by comparing the all other states which has given the policies, to understand which suits more friendly policies framework for the consumers available in Telangana state. This is what.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your views. We will go to next to Mr. Sikandar and discuss with him various views on the latest trends in solar rooftop structural design, considering that the fact that this cost of steel has gone up tremendously, and how the industry is viewing the issue of managing cost and quality, how the balance is taking place. So, Mr. Sikandar, can we have your views, please?
Thank you, Mr. Ajay. Thanks for welcoming me. As far as the rooftop is concerned, we have got different components to be installed. One is the panel and the inverter, which take up approximately around 60 to 70% of the cost. Structure can be 8 to 10% of the cost of the rooftop solutions. Now, earlier we used to have this galvanized structures with the civil blocks, which were basically the roof chipping was done and the civil blocks were fixed to the roof. But recently, what we have seen, or since the last few years, we have seen that a lot of residents or a lot of companies also, they don't want the structure, the civil to be, the roof to be damaged. So for last couple of years, we've seen non-penetrating roof with the captured ballast coming up, and they have been really very popular. People have got weatherproofing the tiles and all that. So these kind of civil structures would not damage the roof. Then we have got these for sheet roof. We've got these standing seam roofs again, where we have got these non-penetrating clamps, which can be constructed on top of them. And since the last few years, we have also seen adhesives becoming quite popular. These are high quality adhesives, which will basically not which allow the structure to be pasted to the roof and they become part of the structure, and they're very strong adhesives. So we've done an installation of around 1.6 megawatt on a single roof, which was with adhesives, and it was tested, it was certified, it has got a IIT certificate also. So these are very good models that have recently come up. Now, these new models that have come up, they allow uh, faster installation. They come with the standardized structures, and so the cost of installation, the time to install is reduced a lot. What we have also seen is currently the steel prices have gone up, but now we are seeing that lightweight structures with aluminum have are slowly taking over, and these structures are not again non-corrosive and long-lasting. So we see a lot of development in the structure. Plus, different new types of structures have started coming up, which are basically tracking systems for rooftops. These are again lightweight. They have been used in outside India, but very soon they'll be coming up in India as well. So, which will give higher energy generation, up to 15 to 20%. Then another new concept is solar trees. Uh, uh, these are like a structure like a tree, and you have panels on top, so they occupy very little space. And only thing is that the weight is still higher, but once the weight of the tree structure comes down, they can be very suitable and very aesthetic for the roof also. Most of these structures nowadays that are standardized, pre-certified for loads, wind speeds, full test, and they are non-corrosive. So I think it's a very good development in the structure side we have seen. Over to you, Mr.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sikandar. Just want to also take your views on what measures the industry is taking to reduce the project costs so that there is a lifetime profitability which is achieved by the clients, by your clients. What measures the industry is taking? Can we have your views, please?
Okay. There are quite a few opportunities that we have got for reducing cost. First of all, I discussed the panel structures, mounting structures, which will reduce the time, increase the production. They are lightweight with fast installations. I also see that um, um, just-in-time delivery of modules and inverters helps a lot, because if you have a local manufacturing with a local warehouse, then project developer can order these procure these modules and inverters just in time, so that there is no additional finance cost. Thirdly, also regarding manpower, I think a trained manpower earlier, of course, we were not getting people who were in the early days. We were not getting people who were trained. We had to train them. But currently, we have quite a lot of manpower which are trained and experienced in installation, so helping us in faster installations with more security, I mean safety. So that is helping a lot. Lastly, we also are seeing outsourcing of INC. So there is a standard teams which do the installation, and there's a developer which outsources the installation to these teams. So this also reduces the cost for the developer. One more thing is, of course, we have to reduce the maintenance cost. So we have got these automated cleaning systems, the cleaning solutions which are dust resistant. This would also reduce the cost of the overall system, and collaboration between the vendors across geographies, where one vendor in a different geography can collaborate and outsource the work to another one vendor. I think that will also reduce the cost of the systems. But of course, overall, we would like to see the low cost of the panels and the inverters, which are currently now the prices are going up quite rapidly.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Sikandar. Just also adding that it's important that the industry makes the systems very robust to prevent downtime. Downtime causes a lot of it increases cost to the end customer, and also can increase the O&M costs and makes things a little difficult. The module capacity is also likely to go up in the coming years, in the coming months, possibly. Currently, we are running at around 380 watt peak, 400 watt peak. Maybe we'll be able to go up to 500 watt peak by the end of the year, is what my guess is. Back to the getting back to again to Mr. Ajit. What we have found is we are learning, Mr. Ajit, now back to Kerala. We're finding that some of the EPC contractors and developers are complaining that the payments to various people are not coming in time from various government entities. What do you believe? What do you think the opinion or your opinion on this is? Is it right, or is it partial truth, or how do you believe it's going to be overcome?
Well, actually, we have some strict rules. I could agree on that, on the payment terms and all. But it's all transparent, I should say that. Because the state electricity board, the public utility here has a board order on how to go about the payment. And the state nodal agency, ANERT, is also having a specific procedure for payments and all. We have very good conditions, actually. It is not so stringent, I should say, because currently, whenever a project, an EPC player supplies the materials at the site, they can get 30% to 40% payment. In most of the tenders, it is 40%. They will get 40% when they deliver the materials at the site. Then, of course, the next 40% will be based upon the commissioning. So, because we have some mobile applications for this kind of commissioning reports, kind of things and all. So even ANERT has a portal on this. It's like buymysun.com. We have regularized the flow of the supply chain and the events happening in successful commissioning of the project. So things are going fine here. Because some of the issues has been actually rectified. So there is no issue regarding that. The manufacturers are and the EPC contractors are now happy. Now we have given with another latest set of empaneling completed by ANERT, actually. We have national players and state players combined in that process. The State Electricity Board, the DISCOM, is also now empaneling for the next 200 megawatt project coming up with the MNRE subsidy. So because of now in ANERT itself, it's like we have 200 manufacturers, 26 manufacturers on board. So it shows that we have people who believe us, who can work with us. So if at all any kind of things are coming up, we are very transparent to address this situation as well. So we are very positive on this. We always look for their concerns.
Thank you, sir. Back to Telangana, Mr. Ramakrishna, sir, the same issue of payments comes from Telangana as well.
Ramakrishna sir, he had some internet connectivity issues. So,
okay, not a worry.
He's trying to log in again.
Okay, so meanwhile, should we open the house for questions, please?
So we have received a few questions in the chat box. So if you could see the chat box, yes, we have received a few questions from there. And we also have one question received in Q&A box. Okay, we have.
So I can see the questions. The first question I find is, what are the future plans for rooftop solar in AP? I understand Mr. Ramaniya Sethi has answered that question. Sir, do you want to add anything to it? Mr. Ramaniya Sethi, are you there, sir?
As far as the state of Andhra Pradesh is concerned, as I said earlier, everything is in place. Only the thing, now already one of the best states in the country also in the installation of net metering. But you see, if you see the whole India as a true picture of the whole India, the net metering is not, the capacity under net metering is not growing as expected by the central government itself. Though they set a target of 40,000 megawatt out of the 1 lakh megawatt, the present capacity is about less than 6,000 megawatt. By 2022, how they will reach 36,000 megawatt by capping 10 kilowatt in the rules, electricity rules. It is a big question and big challenge also. Any other speaker also may clarify on this. And the other point, there is some view is that it is for the state government to decide the cap because the rules are not binding. It is not my view. So it is a view in the general legal circle. Whatever the rules that are framed by the government are not binding on the state unless the state ratifies those rules. Okay. So that is the reason still we have not modified any our rules limiting 10 kilowatt under net metering rooftop. So future, what happens, we don't know. But as of today, we don't have any specific plans. Our discoms already empaneled under Government of India net metering policies. So they are they're taking the applications, but not at the expected level. Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. There is another question I find in the group chat which asks about whether a consumer can install more than 1 megawatt in Tamil Nadu under HT consumers. Just since we don't have a government speaker from Tamil Nadu, I will clarify that that an order was passed in Tamil Nadu in the Tangenco. There's a petition about 2 years ago which requested the commission to permit parallel operation to HT consumers where there is no requirement of 1 megawatt. And so the order was accepted. So there is a requirement of a parallel, anything beyond a parallel feeder in that. So I guess that answers that question. So the third question is there any possibility for solar subsidy in Tamil Nadu in the near future? I'm not sure if I'll be able to answer that question. Whatever subsidies are there in the state currently is existing. About the future, I am not sure what Tamil Nadu will come out with, and we don't have a government speaker from Tamil Nadu, so I don't think we can answer that question with good confidence. The next issue is, are the state nodal agencies joining hands with any banking or finance institutions to encourage rooftop solar? So I'll have to get back to Anat, to Mr. Ajit, to answer that question. What is Kerala's view on joining up with any banking finance institutions to encourage rooftop solar?
It's very interesting, sir. Actually, I know that the Supraha scheme of World Bank has this scheme of joining. They're actually a lot of banks are joined in their program, but unfortunately, Kerala is not in that list currently. That we look forward for joining World Bank on that. But currently, we have a lot of we have some laws coming up, like we have state cooperative banks lining up for giving this subsidy, and State Bank of India has already taken initiative on this. So banks are now entertaining it actually, the loan scheme and all. The state government itself is promoting it, but the clear kind of network with bank finance is not completely sorted out. But banks are not preventing them from taking subsidy on it. SBI is very pro on it, and a lot of cooperative banks are positive on this. That is current view. We don't have a kind of suprafa model system in place in Kerala. Maybe once we line up with or join with this kind of international agencies, we can get some sort of scheme where the banks can continuously finance the customers here. Actually, it is needed. It's very attractive because uh, it will help them. So I think along with the subsidy scheme, this makes sense. Whenever this bank sector, especially Kerala has a tradition of a lot of cooperatives around, cooperative banks in every districts, and having very good strength also along with the local self-governance. I think that model works. We are actually planning for that. Thank you.
So we have D.V. Ramakrishna
Thank you,
sir, who
sir.
has also joined us.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Also, for the information of the House, way back in 2014-15, Andhra Pradesh had at that time joined hands with Rural Electrification Corporation and funded a whole lot of rooftop solar for villages, remote villages. This was the project ran for about 5 years, and the plants are still working. But we'll also look at Mr. Ramakrishna to guide us on what activities the state nodal agency is doing with regard to banking and financing institutions to encourage rooftop solar. Mr. Ramakrishna sir, I believe you joined back. Mr. Ramakrishna sir, are you there, sir?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes. The question I'll repeat. This is about about state nodal agencies joining hands with banking finance institutions to encourage rooftop solar.
As a nodal agency in Telangana, we had tied up with few banks, but we had tied up with banks with respect to the EMI schemes pertaining to the employee sector initially. So any employee, either government or private in the initial front, who are willing to avail the EMI scheme approved through TS Redco, they were having this possibility. But there were very few takers on this one.
Right. So, what about other plants, like, for example, on the government institutions or in some other areas of rooftops? Would any bank come forward, like REC had done a few years ago for the remote villages?
Yes, we had proposed these kind of models, and we had conducted bankers meeting also and informed the sector needs to be supported. And if it is an individual level, it should be through an EMI based, and if it is an corporate level, corporate funding has to be provided to the sector so that this can be. So we had worked with PFC and REC also in the past, and NABARD also to a certain extent, to see that there could be some focus on this sector given to by giving the funding also, so that we could able to meet, and some of the category capacity we have installed has come through the this initiative also, out of 158 megawatt what we have commissioned.
All right. Thank you, sir. The next question is from Mr. Vikas Kumar. It says, is there any specific guidelines from MNRE to state DISCOM for commissioning of grid-tied inverters? I'll just answer this question straight away. For commissioning of grid-tied inverters, you need to have the safety certificate from the local CEIG. And once you have that certificate, you require a completion certificate from the nodal agency. And thereafter, you can go ahead with the inverter manufacturer, the OEM, and follow his procedure and commission the grid-tied inverter. Then coming to as business point of view, the installation of solar panels will increase in cities or else in coastal area. So this is it's a good question. It's a difficult one to answer as to where the installation of panels will be in coastal areas or cities. The aim is that the solar plants should come up everywhere, not only coastal areas, not only cities or rural areas, should come up wherever possible to generate more electricity. The final question is from Mr. Bala Subramaniam, which says that, dear panelists, if the customer is getting capped at 10 kilowatt for his residential use and needs more on the same net meter, and distributors who are serving more customers with more than 10 kilowatt projects are don't see any future. How do you see this problem and provide the solution? So what you are saying is that about the same problem which we discussed earlier, there is a little problem, and this problem requires rectification at the MNRE level and with the help of all the state nodal agencies. I understand the representation is going from the industry to MNRE to resolve this issue, and I'm sure MNRE will be able to see some light on this. Sangeeta, we have come to an end here with the questions and with all the discussion with the panelists. It's 4 p.m. now, so I will end this session now, and if there's anything else, over to you again.
Thank you so much, all the key panelists, for the valuable insights. Ajay sir, thank you so much for moderating today's session. With this, we will proceed ahead with our next technical commercial presentation by Mr. Sai Chalunkupri, who is the Technical Director from Jinko Solar. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Sangeeta. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for your valuable time.
So before you start with the presentation, we would like to play a small video from Jinko's end.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Sangeeta, for the wonderful video. Very good afternoon once again, everyone. So on behalf of Genco, I just would like to give you a kind of brief introduction about our company. So Jinko Solar basically is a global leading solar PV module manufacturer. Right from the day of our inception, we have delivered more than 70 gigawatt capacity, which has been supplied to the entire global market by having market share of more than 12.8%. And on the efficiency side, if you just try to see, we have touched more than 24.58% on the cell level efficiency. And going forward, if you just try to see where exactly Jinko is placed and positioned, from the last consecutive 5 years, we are just getting ourselves ranked not just as premium top quality rated #1 manufacturer, not just because of having the NVGL kind of highly reliable report on the product side, but also specific to bankability aspects. Because the two major considerations or the metrics which has to be considered on any kind of solar PV module consideration is that it always has to go with reliability aspect on the technical side and the bankability factor, where how this particular company or organization is going to withstand by just looking at the lifespan of this particular product. So fortunately, we were listed in most of the markets, like in New York we were listed, and in Shanghai also very soon we are going to get listed, and which is why we could see our position in the market is having a larger footprint when compared to any other competitor of ours. And just looking at the major requirement, or if you just try to look at the rooftop segment for that matter, or digital or distributed generation market for that particular matter, it always if you just try to compare other markets globally, they always try to have a kind of specific different product altogether as a kind of customized product for rooftop installations kind of thing. But unfortunately for our Indian market, if we just try to see, we always try to follow the footprints of utility scale segment. If one particular product is getting accepted widely on the utility scale segment in hundreds of megawatts or in gigawatts kind of scale, yes, we directly will go with those kind of products, and it is a fact. So by just having a kind of good reference number of installations, our rooftop segment is not expecting any kind of new products, specific customized products on the rooftop segment. It's again like it's a cost sensitive market. But the major fact is that even within this kind of utility scale segment products, if you just try to see monofacial earlier, if you just try to look at 10 quarters before, the expectation from the market was standing only at 300 watt peak or 330 watt peak. So now that particular expectation has been changed in the minds of the field. So it's more of like monofacial modules started penetrating into the market. And again, if you just try to see the rooftop segment where people are trying to offer them with 400 or 330 watt peak kind of poly products in the market. And poly technology is completely obsolete in the market. And there are only very few reserves which are left out for poly segment. And very soon, even if you just again try to look at the most of the top tier solar PV module manufacturers, everyone move towards monopoly kind of technology. It's always that out of 160 gigawatt of global demand, entire 98% of manufacturing is happening with monopoly kind of technology. So there is no space and room which is left out for poly kind of technologies. If someone is trying to offer you with poly kind of technology with 330 kind of power class, better don't opt them. The reason is that better the power class, higher the power class with better efficiency always helps you in getting lower LCOE, and which in turn will reduce your LCOE part and increase your returns and ROI part for your installation. And not just limiting only to the monofacial modules. Now market is trying to look at different markets, at different product sizes and different power classes. If we just try to see now, market already shifted towards 520, 540 kind of power class. And within this particular 520, 540 kind of power class, rooftop segment and distributed generation market is not yet ready to consider these particular models and modules. Now still standing at 400 or 330, it's not the option. Better now it's a time to move towards 470 kind of watt peaks or 460 kind of watt peaks, at least on the rooftop segment. Or even if there is a kind of flexibility for the rooftop players to consider 540, 530 kind of power class, it's good to go with that by just having better efficiency product in reducing the space occupancy, where I could see one of the question which has been raised by one of the attendee asking for, there is a space constraint in Indian market. How to deal with this kind of aspect? Yes, going with these kind of high efficiency technology with higher power class with bifacial kind of technology products definitely solves the kind of problems what generally rooftop players are having on this particular thing. And looking at the technology wise, monofacial technology is that is the old technology, we should say, and now the latest technology is with bifacial technology. If we just try to look at this particular slide, wherein which I'll try to show with the pointer. Yeah, so this one is the monofacial module, wherein which it can absorb only radiation only from the front side of the module, whereas for the bifacial module, it has got the capability to absorb radiation not just only from the front side but also from the rear side, where the reflected and the diffused radiation can be absorbed on the rear side. Just because of that, you will have better amount of energy generation which is going to happen from the same module. And typically, if you just try to see what kind of different modules which are available with this kind of new generation technology, if you just try to see that, it's more of 500 watt peak power class started penetrating into the market. And fortunately, with with different kinds of platter full of products. What Jinko tries to offer you is it's more with Tiger Pro series name. Earlier, we used to come up with Cheetah series product where the power class used to stand in between 380 watt peak onwards till 420 watt peak. And then we came up with Tiger series where it starts with 450 watt peak till 475, 480 kind of thing. And now this is the Tiger Pro series where it is even open for the rooftop segment, distributed generation market, C&I segment markets, wherein which the power class expectation or the power class availability on this particular product is starting from 520 watt peak onwards, and it goes up to 580 watt peak. And if you just try to see, if you are trying to go with a kind of 72 number of cell with 192 wafer size module, it comes up to 540, 545 watt peak. It comes in both monofacial and bifacial. And within bifacial, again, there is a kind of technology optimization. Looking at specific location, if the location is having high temperature zone, you can even directly go with a kind of bifacial module with transparent backsheet. If the same location is going to be having a high humid zone and varied parameters specific to climatic zones with high humidity, in that case you can even go with dual glass kind of modules on these kind of bifacial technologies. So look, and the other product what we are trying to offer with the same mono kind of technology is Tiger series. So two different series products we are trying to offer. Tiger series, this comes with 163.75 cell size, where the power class is going to be maintained up to 475 watt peak, 480 watt peak, and both monofacial and bifacial. Bifacial will be 5 watt peak lesser than monofacial. Similarly, with Tiger Pro series, if you just try to see, it is coming in two different variants. One is with 72 cell variant, and the other is 78 cell variant. With 72, it is coming up to 540, 545 watt peak, and with 78 cells, it can go up to 580 watt peak. So variants are open specific to these particular power class. Definitely, it will reduce the land space or the space which is what is required for the entire installation of your system. And this is just a kind of roadmap by what time which particular product, which particular power class is going to be in mass production. So this definitely will help you. You just need to tell us when exactly is your requirement. So assuming that if your requirement is falling in Q3 of 2021, so by that time we can see that 535 watt peak is falling as our mass product. So this will benefit you, which is coming from the mass production. Even we can provide you 545, 540 watt peak power class. But if your requirement is in Q2, that's going to be very expensive because it's not our mass product at this particular point of time. So this roadmap generally helps you in providing the best optimized product from our production line. Similarly, if you just try to see with the bifacial module, even this roadmap helps you in understanding the bifacial technology product in both transparent backsheet, because we provide in both options, transparent backsheet and dual glass kind of option. So if you just try to compare which one is better, transparent backsheet or dual glass kind of option. Initially, 2 years back, these kind of bifacial technologies started with dual glass because there was no expectation on this kind of bifacial technology. When the time moves on, the market has demanded for the optimization within the same bifacial technology. So optimization referred specific to the conventional solar PV module, because conventional solar PV module generally comes with backsheet. So the same technology has been implemented on the bifacial technology to make it more reliable, or to have the same kind of technology considerations, same output parameters, and also the same reliability features. If you just try to maintain the same thing, even with transparent backsheet kind of model, definitely it is going to have better values specific to specific energy yield. Because if you just try to compare the specific energy yield or the generation benefit, comparing both dual glass bifacial module versus transparent backsheet bifacial module, the temperature coefficient or the temperature loss specific to dual glass is going to be more. The reason is that at varied irradiation patterns, at varied spectrum values of irradiation pattern, definitely glass generally becomes opaque in space. When it becomes opaque, there is no transfer of heat generally which can happen from glass to the other object. So in that way, we can see that transparent backsheet modules always will have low operating temperature when compared to dual glass kind of modules. This is typically specific to 78 number of cells module within the same bifacial kind of technology, which generally comes with tiling ribbon kind of technology, as what we have shown you in the video. That was generally the ribbon will be flat in shape, but this is going to be circular in shape. Just because of that, specific energy yield is going to be a bit better, wherein which it will reduce the loss component specific to IAM loss or low irradiance loss, which generally goes in positive with tiling ribbon kind of technology, which is far mature technology and is having better energy density when compared to normal flat ribbon kind of technologies. And the most important factor now, assuming that now the entire market has been moved to, even on the rooftop segment, it has been moved towards 520 kind of power class. Now, if we just try to see 520 kind of power class, it's being offered in the market into two different variants by most of the manufacturers. So the entire manufacturing segment has been divided into two segments. One is 182 wafer size module, and the other is 210 wafer size module. So what exactly is the basic difference between this? So what is the benefit which is going to have? Generally, this particular 182 wafer size module comes with 72 number of cell or 78 number of cell, which is a general conventional solar PV module. When compared with 210 wafer size module, that comes with a trisected module, which comes with different size of different number of cells of the module, and the dimensions are also varying with respect to that particular 210 wafer size module. So on the benefit specific to installation part or on the transportation part, and the major important factor is that the electrical design parameter. If we just try to compare 210 wafer size module with 182 wafer size module, 182 wafer size module has got limitation on the short circuit current from the module output, is limiting with the existing 30 amp fuse, 30 amp inline fuse, which is what is available in the market. But if you are trying to go with 210 wafer size module, which generally will be connected with 6 square cable, and there you have to go with, if you are trying to go with a kind of Y connector for connecting two number of strings, then you have to go with minimum 40 amp fuse. So 40 amp fuse is a challenge in the market. So ecosystem is not in a position to support these kind of technology optimizations. In that way, if you just try to compare 4 square cable, which is coming with 182 wafer size module versus 210 wafer size module with 6 square cable, I square R loss component is going to be a bit higher with 210 wafer size. So in fact, if you just try to compare, finally at the end of the day, what any kind of customer will be looking at is what exactly is my LCOE, whether my LCOE is low or not, levelized cost of energy is reduced or not. So to answer that perfectly, 182 sits in the expectation of the market, which is why we could see it's a conventional solar PV module, which is coming with 72 number of cell or 78 number of cell, which is having better compatibility, not just limiting only to the mechanical aspects, but also specific to electrical compatibility aspects, which is why we could see it is more reliable and more mature when compared to 210 wafer size. This is a kind of typical example. If you just try to, as one of the speaker in the previous panel discussion was trying to talk about the new advancements in the technology aspects by just going with a kind of tracker kind of solution. But yes, if you just try to go with a kind of tracker plus bifacial kind of technology, definitely it will add more value on the entire system. Because these particular trackers generally comes with 80 meter length, 85 meter length, and now they have gone up to 115 meter length as a maximum. Most of the it's like most of the trackers. If you just try to compare these particular 182 wafer size modules versus 210 wafer size module, if this is 182 wafer size module of 585, where we can see 4 strings per tracker can be connected, and whereas if you just try to see for the 600 watt peak module, which is coming with the same kind of tracker, only 3 strings per tracker can be connected. So eventually the cost and the footing pile cost, which is going to happen, which is what is happening with these particular tracker optimization, is happening with 585 watt peak when compared to 600, because the amount of power which is what is required at the end of the day is getting connected to 60 kilowatt, and the same is connecting at 59.4 kilowatt. Definitely, if you are trying to go for a kind of 1 megawatt kind of solution, it adds more value. But for rooftop installations, yes, there is a kind of bit variation in that, but eventually the kind of benefit what is happening is close to around like 7% on 1P kind of tracker solution. You can see the benefit, and close to around like 5% minimum on the 2P kind of tracker kind of solution. So this is one typical example which I was trying to explain you previously. So going with a kind of 12 amp operating current, which is there with 182 wafer size module, and this particular 20 amp is with 210 wafer size module with 60 cell or 66 cell module. So eventually, if you just try to compare, and if you just try to see the cost, the loss, which is what is happening on the DC loss, which is I square R loss, is going to be a bit high with these kind of modules of 210 wafer size, and it is lesser with 182 wafer size module. Eventually, it is going to increase your cost. It is going to increase your LCOE part with 210 wafer size module. And this is one of the typical BOS comparison by just comparing two standard is this is 182 wafer size, and this is with 210 wafer size with 55 number of cells and 210 wafer size with 60 number of cells. We could see 1.04% extra cost is getting added on the BOS itself, specific to these particular 210 wafer size, and it is getting added to 1.14% with 60 cell number of module. So it's always lowest LCOE is what really mean to the end customer, and it really matters a lot. Not just limiting only to the consistent power generation, but also considering the cable loss and the operating temperature of that particular module really makes more sense. And as I was trying to explain you that now market is trying to look at bifacial module, and within bifacial module, both options, transparent backsheet and dual glass options are available. If we just try to compare the kind of scorecard between bifacial module of transparent backsheet and dual glass is going to come up with other glass on the right side of why weight is always better with transparent backsheet. On the anti-humidity and heat, it always maintains same. But if the system is going to have, or if the location of your system which you are trying to plan is going to have high humidity and high temperature or high heat, better to go with a dual glass kind of properties if it is coming exactly beside sea with high wind loadings, because generally glass to glass is going to have higher mechanical property when compared to normal single glass transparent backsheet kind of modules. If it is going to have a high wind zone, definitely it makes more sense for dual glass kind of option. But on the other side, if the wind limitation is limiting only up to 2400 pascals requirement of yours, definitely you can even go with transparent backsheet kind of modules as well. But if the same kind of location is having anti-UV or saline kind of zone, even for those kind of locations, you can easily plan with this kind of transparent backsheet kind of modules. Mechanical properties definitely is bit better with dual glass, but yes, it is falling in line with the requirements of IEC code criteria, which is 2400 pascals plus minus on the front loading and on the back loading. It is going to match. And on the energy generation, definitely yes, it's going to better with transparent backsheet because of opaque nature, which generally happens with glass to glass kind of modules, and it is easy to clean because glass to glass modules, glass generally comes with iron component of ferrous material. Just because of that, it is prone to oxidation. It absorbs dust particle very easily on the right side of the module. Just because of that, you may need to clean once on every 4 times cleaning on the front side of the module. Whereas if you just try to consider for a kind of polymer material, where if it is a kind of a backsheet kind of material, for every 8 times on front cleaning, you may just need to wipe off with a kind of smooth cloth or a sponge kind of thing. So this is a typical analysis what we have done with our existing reference-based installation, which has been installed in our factory premises in Haining, China. What we have noticed is that we tried in comparing the bifacial technology with both transparent backsheet and dual glass. At different kinds of installations, what we noticed is that always always generation energy yield is bit better more with a transparent backsheet kind of modules with fixed tilt or with single axis tracker or with P-type and N-type even on rooftop with the kind of PCC or RCC cement fixed installation. So it's always what we have noticed is that on a fixed tilt with the sand, what we have noticed is that 0.85%, and it with a kind of PCC kind of installation with N-type, we have noticed up to 1.85% energy gain, extra energy gain when compared to bifacial dual glass kind of modules. So with this, this is what I was trying to explain you, that transparent backsheet modules of ours generally have low operating temperature. Just because of having low operating temperature, energy yield is always going to be a bit higher. And with this, I end my presentation and would like to answer any of the questions coming up from the.
Thank you so much, sir, for the valuable insights. What we will do is we will take up the questions after the panel discussion.
Sure.
So attendees, please start posting your questions in Q&A box. We will take up the questions later after the second panel discussion. But before we proceed ahead with the panel discussion, attendees, here comes few again polls for you. So here's your one more poll again. Will energy storage become mainstream for solar rooftop? Let's see what attendees have to say. I'm closing the poll now. Well, 80% attendees agree with it. Thank you, attendees. Here comes your second poll. What would you think is the key challenge for PV plus storage to replace other methods? I'm closing the poll now. Well, 72% of attendees say that it's more expensive. Thank you, attendees. With this, we will proceed ahead with our second panel discussion. The topic of panel discussion is going to be rooftop solar O&M, asset management, and energy storage opportunities. Session experts who have joined us today are Mr. Dinesh Salim Natarajan, who is a chairman and a managing director from Suplis Energy. He would also be moderating today's session. Mr. Pashupati Kumar, who is the CEO and director from VRM Energy. Mr. K. Hari Nayaran, who is the CEO from USolar. Mr. Tarun Singh, who is the director from Gosolgen Renewables Private Limited. And Mr. Rajesh Parkala, who is the founder and director from Gigawatt Solar Private Limited. I would like to hand over the session to Dinesh sir to take the discussions forward with other speakers. Thank you.
Very good afternoon, everybody. Sangeeta, thanks for the nice introduction. I do notice that video has been disabled. Probably maybe it just got enabled. So. All right, so I'm on. And thank you once again and for having me as the moderator. And thanks to all the participants for taking the time. The one thing I would like to start off by mentioning that your selection of the topic for the panel is very timely, and with that, welcome to all the panelists as well. The main, as we are looking back at the last 5 years, I think India has really had a huge impact on a global scale by going with the 100 gigawatt target for solar in general. However, with the 40 gigawatt target for rooftop, I think India is also, as a nation, grappling with a lot of challenges, which essentially is a lot of push and pull between discounts on one end and aspiring individual customers and prosumers and solar installers in general. And this being the overarching background of any discussion that happens when we are talking about rooftop solar. I think in particular during this panel, we will be focusing on the O&M aspects related with rooftop solar and the asset management aspect of it, and how to effectively and economically ensure that those projects that do get installed do benefit from active maintenance. Primarily because without active maintenance, what happens is projects do get installed, but in the long run, they lose out on realizing the promised economics of rooftop solar projects. And in addition to that, I think the big coming attraction when we are talking about rooftop solar definitely relates to energy storage technology, and how that is going to be evolving. So let's get started. And what I would like to do is just touch on one aspect at a time, and then go around with the panelists and have them share their insights on the various areas that we would be talking. So to begin with, let me start by introducing one of the biggest myths when it comes to rooftop solar, primarily when from the perspective of end customers. And this actually is the legacy that has been built on over the years by installers when the technology was not mature. And so let me start by calling this a myth. So the myth is rooftop solar, like any solar, is maintenance free, zero maintenance. And this is primarily how it has been sold to end customers, be it commercial, institutional, or even residential customers. And And this myth has now become one of the biggest challenges in trying to make sure that proper O&M is performed on rooftop solar projects, number one. And number two, also, how do you really get customers to attach a value to maintenance aspect of rooftop solar projects when installers do pitch them? On this aspect, what I would like to do is we have here as one of our panelists, Mr. Kumar from VRM Energy. Mr. Kumar, I know VRM Energy does play in both rooftop and ground mount solar. You do have a big spectrum of play in the solar industry. However, specific to rooftop solar, I would like to hear from you in terms of, what are the challenges that you have encountered as a rooftop player when you do pitch O&M aspects for your rooftop customers?
Thank you, Dinesh. First of all, I would like to give a big thanks to these organizers and those who are attending the session with full enthusiasm and listening all our views and raising good questions also, so that we can able to give good answer to shape ourselves, to define ourselves where we are standing and what we need to do in the upcoming days. Okay. Regarding the O&M part, let me just give a small crisp about. First, we have our own plants which are running in both the model. One in the rooftop session also, we have our own plant. Then another one is the ground mounted plant is also running for the last 11 years. So with that, I have actually say we have learned lot of things from the O&M part. You just imagine, sir, in the year 2010, I have installed my first plant with the panel called the MIA-SOL panel, technology, CIGS. Now the company itself is not there. So it's a 110 watt panel, I think so. Yeah, it's a 110 watt panel. The panels were imported from US. Now the company itself is not available. So, but luckily, during the initial time itself, we have got nearly around 150 panels spare. So for the last 11 years, we have somehow managed with the panels. Now I am just worrying about from now to next 15 years, from where we'll get the panels. Now we have to think of some innovative method. So we need to make some strings of some kind of, and we need to also get the approval from MNRE, whether to mix other technology with this technology or to, because that 110 watts, the 90 watts and all, now it's out of this one. So we have to look for, so if we put a higher capacity, so these are all the issues are there. So the nodal agency, the MNRE should approve. So this is one aspect. This is one risky factor I am seeing in the O&M. For example, now also if we see 330 watt peak, we are using everybody. Okay, we are all happy. Now itself we are seeing up to 500 watts, up to 600 watts is coming. So just imagine, sir, yes, 6 years for the plants which we installed now. If we are looking for some panels of the exact size, the whole size, exact capacity, from where we should get. Now, this is one question. It always lingers in my mind. So how? So, but otherwise, the panel manufacturers, at least they should standardize this one, some kind of standardization, or even if somebody wants, maybe after 8 years. So this one mechanism needs to be developed. What do you say, Dinesh?
I think technology compatibility or reverse compatibility, backward compatibility, I think these are all the different terms that come to mind. I think that is what I take as one of the biggest challenges you're looking at. And I think those are very well said. And probably what I would add to is, Supla's Energy, we are one of, we play in what we call as module level power electronics. So there are technologies that are available that do lend themselves to where, we could make different watt peak class of modules compatible with each other within a given string. So thanks for the feedback, Mr. Kumar. I think now we also have here Mr. Hari Narayan from USolar. And Mr. Hari, I know at USolar you both play within design consulting service areas, and also you do play in managing and asset management and EPC as well. So in that context, when you are providing consulting services or engineering design services for plants, how much do you factor in the potential for future proofing rooftop projects, maybe primarily, going off from where Mr. Kumar left in terms of technology compatibility or the lack thereof? Perhaps you can shed some light on that.
Yeah, I think Mr. Kumar made an excellent point in terms of the the lack of backward compatibility, and I think that is a problem that is going to stare at us in the years to come also, simply because there is no the whole concept is not there. And to be honest with you, when customers ask us, we sort of skirt the question and say, well, we will get you a module that will be equally good. Don't worry about it. We have had a few issues with some of our plants where, we have used a 200-watt module, which are no longer available. And, we had to sort of jiggle the strings around. Basically, we take out an entire string of old modules and, put a fresh set and then use the older modules for, let us say, the other string. So, we kind of do some engineering around that. But to be honest with you, yes, that is a big open question, and I don't think it is getting addressed at all. Having said that, we always in our, when, as you mentioned, people think that O&M is free, but we always advise a certain budget. So when we give a proposal to do an EPC or, run a plant, we always also give a proposal to do the O&M, and we, very honestly give an, 1.5% per year kind of budget that you should have for O&M services. This includes, future downtime, includes cleaning. Cleaning must be done at least once a month, if not twice, and checking all the earthing and things like that. So as part of what we do, we always insist on doing some on O&M. We own about 5 megawatt of rooftop assets, so O&M is part of what we do, and what we also tend to suffer at times because of lack of visibility into the way things are. And I think it is a very overlooked topic, and definitely it is not free. But at the same time, I think it is not a very expensive thing. It's done regularly, methodically every month. If you neglect your panels for 6 months and then try to scrub clean them and things like that, that does a lot more damage to the entire system. It would be very wise to have a monthly schedule of cleaning, and maybe a quarterly schedule of checking how your earthing is and other factors. Yeah, that's what I'd like to share about O&M.
Thank you, Mr. Hari. That was good insights. And now I'd like to go on to Mr. Singh. We have Mr. Singh from Go Salon Renewables. And Mr. Singh, I know you are also a big player in the rooftop segment. So, perhaps you can shed some light in terms of what actions you take for the projects that you execute on when it comes to the long-term view on maintaining and managing those assets. Mr. Singh, you're on mute. Mr. Singh, your audio is on mute, so you might want to unmute yourself.
Sorry, I was still on mute.
Yeah, now you're audible.
Okay, so let me just begin by contradicting your statement. Solar, I think, by and large, is still maintenance free, and we make this statement with respect to other similar kind of systems that get installed in the market. So if you look at the maintenance cost compared to a thermal power plant or to the hydel power plant, a solar plant is relatively maintenance free. Now, With regards to the O&M challenges, I think there's a big myth in India that everything water kind of cleans everything, right? So, in fact, most of the places where we've seen solar panels being stained, mostly it has been hard water stains that have, permanently been formed on the solar panels that need a lot of cleaning to be done. So, with regards to if we can adopt other technologies apart from just water-based, I think we would reduce the cost of operation and maintenance, especially of solar panels. We bring it down quite low. We take a cost of about 1% per annum on all these solar plants that we install as a maintenance cost. And a lot of our customers do sign up only for O&M activity with us post, the warranty period and the installation period, right? Pre-maintenance period. Because as a business model, one of our selling points is I will make my money from my customers over a period of 25 years. It's just not a one-time sale. I have factored all the money that I'm going to make from you, and I will do it over a period of 25 years. So having said that, O&M is very, very critical to our business model. And we do approach, we have a dedicated help desk that takes care of only O&M activities, and irrespective of who has done the installation or which make the system is. So we do give a lot of importance to it, because we truly believe that more and more people would embrace solar if all the so-called negativity, I wouldn't say the negativity or the unanswered questions on the maintenance aspects of solar is answered in a very right and methodical way.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. I think it is always good to share a contradicting view, and I think your point is taken, though, relative to the other technologies of power generation resources that is available. Yes, solar is on a relative basis, much light in terms of the maintenance that is needed. And I think that's a very valid point. Now, just to pause here, Ms. Sangeeta, do we have anybody from Gigawatt Solar? I'm not sure I have. I know you did share that they would be as part of the panel.
Yes, sir, but then he was unable to join due to some connectivity issues. So you'll have to go ahead with this panel.
Okay, sure. I didn't want to miss out on them. Okay. So that being said, I think going off of where Mr. Singh left, one is, when it comes to cleaning the panels, how do you really clean them, and what is the best way and, maybe cost economic way, both in terms of the natural resource, which is water, that is needed for cleaning, and, the overall cost as well. And switching into that mode, I would now like to point about the use of drone technology. Drone technology to there are companies out there that have started pitching the use of drone technology for even cleaning the panels, which might be more relevant to rooftop scale installations, primarily because they are far and few, not very large in size, and every rooftop project has a unique installation and so on. And and we at Suitlas are also evaluating the technology, not only for use of cleaning, but also for doing the performance analysis of the rooftop plants as well. So, and in addition to the use of drone technology, we are also using employing the use of remote sensing technology, primarily when it comes to rooftop solar. For example, it is not viable to install a weather station at every rooftop project that is available to monitor the performance of the plant. So invariably what happens is in the industry, rooftop plants are installed, and these range from few kilowatts to even tens of kilowatts, especially in the sub 100 kilowatt range. Rooftop projects are installed, but they don't necessarily come with a weather-based monitoring or any kind of a performance diagnostic. right? And what we are introducing now, we have something called as the Skyscanner technology, which is where we employ a hardware-less system, to put it in a way where we use remote sensing to assess the weather performance. So what we're trying to do is bring diagnostics and technology. So these are ways in which what we believe in is, and I think a point in case of the comment from Mr. Singh also is, we want to make sure that once a solar plant is installed, that the customers do realize maximizing the return from the plant. So these are ways where we can employ technology to ensure the plant is performing, regardless of its size, right? In terms of how you reap the benefits, be it maintenance. And with the use of drone technology, for example, I think water use can be minimized in terms of keeping the panels clean and so on, and without also risking laborers who have to maybe climb on an elevated structure on a rooftop and so on. So this time around, perhaps I will go in the reverse order and start with Mr. Singh and have him share his opinion on the views in terms of using advanced technologies like drones or remote sensing or other analytic tools, for your rooftop projects. Mr. Singh, over to you.
So here is what I would like to say on this. Having come from a technology background myself and having I'm very passionate about using newer technologies in a day-to-day life. We should technology as much as possible. But some of these things, till the the scalability sets in, and we are able to get it at a price that is viable. I think one big advantage that we have in India is we've got abundant manpower, and I think O&M is a good area where we can skill some of the youth and ladies who are not employed or making very less salaries and all those stuff. And trust me, I've been to several of these utility scale power plants. I mean, the Karnool plant where we got more than 1,000 megawatt installed, and if you actually move around and see, what a waste of land. I mean, we could have just put some horticulture along with it, and that would have maintained the plant very naturally, right? Because you now have, I mean, some of those installers or some of those plant owners, they're faced with the challenge of we have grass growing all the time, and so on and so forth. And I suggested to some of them, I said, give it out to some farmers, let them do agriculture, let them put some fruits, let them grow some vegetables, because that's a lot of land, and that will bring in a natural control. So while I do like to embrace technology to do certain things, and I think at this point of time, technology is best put to use for gathering data, collating them, analyzing, and then coming out with a better way of doing O&M rather than doing the O&M itself. I mean, I think there are better automation techniques, abundance manpower that we should fully utilize. So that's my 2 cents worth of feedback on this aspect.
Very well said. I think your point is, let's adapt technology, but right now, given even, maybe I could call it as the immaturity of the technology as well, perhaps the focus would be to use technology to facilitate the maintenance aspect, not necessarily directly employ it in the maintenance. I think that is your point.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that. And over to you, Mr. Harinarayan, in terms of your thoughts on how we could bring in and integrate technology for managing the assets in the rooftop area.
Right. So in terms of cleaning, I agree 100% with what Mr. Tarun has said. Right now, the best way. There are no technologies right now that can clean rooftop solar plants effectively other than manual cleaning. There are some people who advocate robots and other things, but given the shape of different roofs and different configurations, we cannot risk these things, I don't know, falling off. And these are typically in industries where we install, so we have to be careful. So we are still looking for the right technology, and we are not in a tearing hurry to jump the gun on that. We are happy to employ people to clean them as of today. Having said that, it would be nice if we could use less water, and that is also something we are looking for, but as of date, yet to find that. What I do look forward to is in terms of plant performance analysis through drones or any other, because we do find that some of our solar plants are not performing as expected, and we are still at sort of wondering why plant A in the same city is performing really well, whereas the other is not. And we have a lot of rooftop assets that we own, and so generation is quite critical for us, and that is something we would like to see in terms of technology helping in terms of what's going on in your plant. I think that is still quite immature also, and I think we are sort of looking for solutions there, and nothing on the cleaning side right now. Thank you.
Yeah, I think in terms of safety, I think you're right on when saying that you better make sure that I think the key takeaway from you is you could train the personnel and make sure that they are operating in a safe way when cleaning modules, rather than risking a robot dropping off the ceiling.
Yeah, that's the end of your contract with them, so can't risk that at all.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to use of analytics too, I think what we see happening across the industry is a lot of data gathering is going on, and some of us do work in the area of using all the data to come up with the results or analytics, which actually help in pinpointing or giving, nudging the plant operators in terms of the problem areas where, what needs to be looked at and so on.
Yeah, I mean, that is something we are looking for, and it's not readily that easily available. I think getting the data all on a single platform and then itself is a big challenge, and then putting some analytics on that is, a much larger challenge. Yeah, I don't know if anybody is offering such solutions as of today, but yeah.
Okay. Now over to you, Mr. Kumar. I think one thing that I would probably want to focus, and I know that we have had some discussion about this in the past, so I am going to dip a little bit into some past discussions we've had, primarily because I do know that VRM has done a lot of work in optimizing the amount of water that is needed for cleaning, especially rooftop in some challenging environments or geographies, right? Do you mind, sharing some of your experience on how you have actually used technology to help you in maintaining some challenging rooftop projects?
Right? Well, Dinesh, yeah, but in fact, I am just waiting for this my second chat. But as per rule, but very well, as per MNRE norms, and from the day one, we are following per panel, we need 1.5 liters. Okay. That is the norms we are following in India. That again, that varies from location to location, or from some client want to clean every month, or some client say, no, boss, let us not do it. You just do it once in a while, or maybe depends upon the desk level or something like that. So this is this one. But let me just, I would like to share one of my experience in the Y&M in terms of financial institution. Okay. Actually, one of our plant, 5 megawatt plant, which is in operation for last 8 years. Okay. Then what happened that initially we have taken the loan from some financial institution, and we want to switch over to some other thing, like for instance the Tata Capital and other things, some Reliance or something like that. So when we do that kind of operation, what happened? they want us to make a entire full analysis of the plant by using the UL laboratory or the TUV, and they have to give the entire report how we were operating, we were doing the wind-up for that X number of years. And actually, initially, we would have given the 15 lakhs units per annum and with the depreciation factor as per MNRE norms. So whether the plant has actually performed like that, and whether they can whether that asset, if they fund, for instance, that time 5 into 7, nearly 40 crores. So how whether it will affect them or this one like that. So that time we had a very good experience of working with the UL team. The team came, they checked string by string, they checked with everything, and they made a very big analysis of our own wind-up. See, this is actually good, Dinesh. Like always, we are thinking we are doing the best, like we are doing the best wind-up. When some X person, they come and observe what you are doing, and he will find a better way, or he will find some flaws or something like that in your way of working. So like that, in my opinion, after some n number of years, it's good. You have to go to some MNRE approved laboratory like UL or the TUV or the Renault, and we have to ask them to do the entire this one, to make an analysis string by string. Then we have identified how many panels are with the red spot, and in fact, I have even asked how we are washing the panel. See the way and what time we are washing the panel, and which brush we are. My God, but this is the really actually we have to go in depth up to the root level, up to the end man who is with this one, how he cleans. That is what that really matters, because we are always discussing, we are putting presentation, but in the end of the day, what happened, that local villager or somebody, that small boy or the old man who is washing the panel with hose pipe, how he does the thing effectively. So then later on, they have given a big lesson, and we have educated them, okay, how to clean the panel. But now, because what happened, these people sometime when they want to leave early in the evening, they will clean it in the afternoon when there is a hot sun time is there. Then, see, normally in the wind-up plant, you cannot control, keep an engineer or somebody. It's only run by these local villages. So, but these people are thinking, okay, this is my job to clean it. But they don't know the impact. Okay, when they clean in the hot sun at around 1 o'clock, what will be the impact? So we have to educate them properly. So these are all the tips we learned. And afterward, the red spot and other thing we have identified. And really, it's a very good learning mechanism. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar, for that insight. And I think keeping a watch on the time, let's move on into what the future holds for rooftop in terms of future technologies and also energy storage. However, I would like to go back to one point that you, Mr. Kumar, you touched, and also Mr. Singh actually brought it up first, was, how do we really engage a lot of the youth in the country when it comes to having them be part of the solar revolution, if I might use that. And I think that is a very important thing, not to be ignored. And tying that together with the comment you made, Mr. Kumar, I think there might be a future, and I think there potentially is a future where maybe not today, but maybe 5 years from now, we might find a lot of independent solar plant auditors, who might just be, technically qualified youngsters who want to enter the field, who perform, no task, but other than, coming in, inspecting or auditing solar plants across the country. Okay. So with that being said, let's move on to the final round of discussion here, where given our timing constraint, I would like to club both the future technology roadmap for rooftop and how that also can work together with energy storage projects. So I would like to start with Mr. Hari Narayan. So what, I would like your perspective in terms of, what the future technology roadmap might be for rooftop solar and how, the economics and the technology fits with the energy storage evolution as well.
Sure. I think traditionally, if you see, a lot of the storage technologies were involved with we are kind of off grid or like a backup power, where you would store your energy for the times when the grid went off. I think that was, and so this is mostly for small homes and off grid places and things like that. But now we are seeing newer way. For instance, now net metering is in jeopardy, etc. So you would have cases where there will be going to be surplus energy generated during weekends or even during the week, which you may want to store and use and balance. Now these are all grid tied systems along with storage, and this is where we expect to see. I expect a lot of development happening along with the cost reduction and lithium-ion batteries. So, for instance, if you're able to, supposing there was no net metering, you were however generating surplus power, this could be stored and sort of used off at night along with the grid, and that is one technology that is yet to develop, and that is something that will make will start making storage more economical. We also have been fortunate enough to own a couple of assets where we're actually selling pure storage, selling energy from a stored lithium-ion battery solution for a fairly large installation. And at that point, because this is complete off-grid, we're able to sell it at about 13 rupees. Recently, the customer came back to us, and then we did the math, and it was still sort of the 10 rupee, 11 rupee range, which was still a bit expensive for him. The reason is, of course, there is solar and there is storage, and I think the storage LCOE is still around pure storage, store and use kind of thing is still around 5 to 6 rupees. So if you add solar plus that, it touches the 10, 11, 12 rupees, which becomes expensive. But of course, it's still DG competitive. I'm expecting once the lithium-ion storage cost dips further, maybe in another 3 years, storage plus solar can start becoming competitive, even in cases where there is a grid available. For instance, evening power is quite expensive in many places. So can you, for instance, store power and use it in the evening in an industry? You're not trying to run the entire industry with a solar plant, but you're trying to store a certain amount of energy and then try and trickle it out at the evening so that you reduce the grid consumption. Those are the kinds of things I am seeing in the future. I'm quite excited about opportunities in that area. Thank you.
Very, very valid points. In fact, we've done some analysis, especially for commercial and industrial customers.
Right.
And especially, when you take states like Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, for example, where the base tariff that these entities pay is upwards of 8 rupees. And when you're talking about the impending gross metering or the replacement of net metering with gross metering, where the gross metering is going to be compensated at 2 rupees or maybe even below that, you're looking at a price differential of 6 rupees or upwards of 6 rupees per kilowatt hour. And that is actually, when you look at an industrial or commercial customer, they end up paying a 20% premium during peak hours.
Right.
And when you combine it with that, you are looking at a price advantage of about 7 rupee 20 pies or upwards of 7 rupee 50 pies per kilowatt hour. That can be a good opportunity cost for use of storage technology. Although given that it is not going to be 100% of their energy usage, right? It might have to match with the energy of the solar that might otherwise be exported with the gross metering.
Correct,
you might end up storing that. So very valid point. And with this thoughts, I would like to go to Mr. Singh now to get his thoughts on the use of future technology in rooftop along with energy storage. Mr. Singh. looks like we may not have Mr. Singh. Over to you, Mr. Kumar.
Yes, sir. Yeah. But in my, yes, as you rightly told, now it's really the right time. Many customers are looking for with the battery facility only, and also the net metering facility is also, it's not that much encouraging. So a man who is investing on the rooftop solar, really he has to get his return on his investment at least 5 to 6 years time. So without backup, I don't think it is viable with this declining rates and increasing cost of solar panels cost, then our inverters cost, then the copper cost, all raw materials related to our industry, except the source of power, all other accessory, all our this one has increased. So really, we are in a very tough situation only, sir, in my opinion. So we have to find some innovative mechanisms to survive in the market. Otherwise, it's a very difficult situation to be openly. I am telling this situation is very critical for all the rooftop players, especially because of this new scheme. If it gets implemented, if we start receiving the amount by using that cross metering tariff, really you cannot able to meet the ends together. Find some kind of mechanism.
Yeah, and I think the challenge is there. If the world doesn't change, and I think that's an area where we might see some quick technology adoption happening to bring out the economics even with the gross metering. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. I think we lost Mr. Singh, so Mr. Hari and Mr. Kumar, thanks for your thoughts. And Sangeeta, I think we would bring the panel to an end. And I think I would like to open the panel for any questions you might have for the participants.
Sir, I don't think we have any questions coming in from the attendees, so we can, in that case, conclude this session, and I can have closing remarks from each of the speakers before we do that.
Please do. Yeah.
So, Dinesh sir, if you could please conclude with the closing remarks.
Yeah, sure. So I think the general storyline, if I could call that, would be that there is potential to bring in advanced technologies when it comes to rooftop solar, and in terms of bringing technology and automation, I think we're still at the leading edge, where the biggest challenge right now is going to be in analyzing and putting the data that we are collecting to use in terms of operational excellence for rooftop projects, improving that. And when it comes to the future technologies, I think like the gentleman from Ginkgo Solar identified, we are moving towards where higher efficiency modules, bifacial modules, and superior technology is being employed. And with the potential that energy storage devices hold, primarily, the cost ramp down that we're seeing in energy storage technologies do hold a lot of promise. And I do think that the economics would actually flip should gross metering try to replace net metering in a big way nationwide. We have a lot of churn going on right now. So I think this might be the year of where we might see a lot of resurgence. So with that, I would like to thank my co-panelists for sharing their insights and keeping this an interested session. And also, once again, Sangeeta, thank you, and Solar Quarter for bringing up this very nice topic for the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, all three panelists, for the valuable insights. Dinesh sir, thank you so much for moderating today's session. With this, we come to the end of today's event. Thank you, attendees, for joining us. With this positive note, we would like to conclude. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
जवाब दे दिया